Oh, look at
Hey, we're not messing around, you know. Good morning, Mike.
that. Yeah. How are you, Vipe?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for taking time to chat with me today. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so I appreciate you taking the time. Really, also, you know, it's like you're an industry leader. Firewire is a leading industry brand, so I wanted to catch up with you with everything that's been going on. Let's start at just at the beginning. Just give me a quick update on Firewire. How are you guys faring through this new pandemic world?
we're very lucky to be in the space we're at because, hard goods are, as everybody knows, blowing up all summer. We're having a record year in the US, and if you'd asked me in April, the world was on fire, and I would never have dreamed that the summer would have turned out like it would have. I don't think there's a sales manager out there that can make that claim that they knew this was coming, because it's just you didn't know. And there's a lot of customers out there for boards seeing there was no camps. You send your kids to camps in summer, and you send your kids to football practice and baseball, and none of that was happening. So um, it was an easy switch to let's buy our kid a surfboard and get him to the beach. So that's been great for our business. That's been great for the surf industry. I don't know that you could have a better thing for the surf industry right now. They really need to get back to the roots. These clothing companies need to bring it back to surfboards, where it all starts. That's where the surf shop starts, and it starts with boards. And so we're very lucky to be in that space. It's definitely not as an easy deal for the clothing manufacturers. I get that. It's definitely been a little tougher on them, but everybody seems to be doing well. I'm talking to shops across the U.S. Everybody has a great outlook for this winter, which I'm sort of on the fence. We'll see. We'll see what happens with no stimulus money and all these things that are coming down the pike here. But I can tell you, in September, it hasn't really slowed down much, and we had record months in all summer. Um, and most importantly, that the shops that I'm talking to, are feeling good about hard goods going in the winter. No issues there. So our business is really healthy. Other than the fact we are completely sold out of boards at the moment. That'll change in a couple weeks here, but like if we went in my warehouse, I've never seen it this low. It's it's ridiculously low, and I've been with Firewire since day one. Like this is not usual. So it's interesting times for sure. But I'm just happy to be in the space we're in the surf industry. I think it's brought a lot of people to the beach with surfboards. So as bad as the COVID deal is for the nation, in our industry, it hasn't necessarily been a bad thing. It's brought people to the beach and got them back in the water with their surfboards.
Yeah, thanks for that update, Mike. And look, I think while the pandemic has upended businesses and lives and everything like that, I think you nailed something there that, hard goods seem to be faring very well during this time. And I think soft goods aren't doing as well, just whether it's supply chain or what people are putting a focus on purchasing. So I think the tables have turned a little bit. We're getting back to hard goods and what matters, traction pads, fins, leashes, board bags, all the basic stuff that makes surfing so much fun. Um, any lessons that you can share of like, how you guys have had to kind of adjust or pivot or anything in this, crazy time? I mean, it's not like it was planned or anything. It just kind of, you opened up the doors one day and it was upon you. Any
Yeah.
lessons, picked up along the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's we definitely had to make a pivot. I've been a big advocate for not going direct and staying with the shops. And when all the shops closed and we didn't know when people were going to open, we had to make the pivot and go direct. It wasn't an option at that point. All my arguments fall short. Um, but what we've done is, we've gone direct in a way that includes the retailer. And the retailers have heard this for years, and it's all bullshit until it happens. But if you want to if you talk to them now, they'll tell you because we've been sending them business. So as much as we sell direct, we sell more to our shops. It's it's been a nice add-on for Firewire to be able to run our system, talk to our consumer directly, send him directly to a shop where we know they have that board ready for them, and really facilitate that sale for those shops. So we did have to make a big pivot there, and that was out of necessity for sure. It was something that we knew we were going to do at some point down the road, but that might have been a couple of years down the road.
Yeah.
So this sort of forced our hand. But it is amazing, the people that we have. We brought on Brett Savage. I think you know him, Blake.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable on the on that end of it, on the online end of it, and it's been super great working with him. So we've got a lot of talent in the building, and to see what we're able to pull off during those times, we're basically shut down. But we ended up pulling those off and have it running all summer, and really we have we have great sales through the shops too. So everybody's up, everybody's happy. Most importantly, customers are being taken care of properly, and that's really the concern here. Is how do we get, when you're short on supply, how do you tell that customer where that board's at? And we've been able to do that all summer, and it's been key right now. And like right now, it's super key because I have nothing in this warehouse, but I have a lot of boards at retail, and I know what boards are there, and we're able just to scoot that customer right to those online shops, or your brick and mortar retailer direct in their town.
That's really smart, Mike. It's like I love the idea how if you don't have inventory on hand, you know what inventory your retailers have and how you're quickly able to get customers directed to those retailers. That's a really smart pivot there. I don't know if I've heard that from any of the other brands. Let me ask you something else, Mike. I know sustainability is a really big driving force behind Firewire. Has that been impacted in any way, shape, or form? Have you uncovered more opportunities to practice more sustainability or any new measures on that?
Mark Price has been on the forefront of that since day one. I can
Yep.
remember sitting back in the U.S. factory in 2007, and he was telling me this stuff, and I was just looking at him like, I don't know about that. We'll see. Just sort of being politically correct with him, but he was spot on and has been ever since. And we work very hard daily on trying to make these boards more sustainable. That will always be part of our mantra. And aside from performance first, that's sort of we're performance first, and then right behind it is sustainability. And you can do that. We've shown you can do that.
Yeah.
We've shown the industry, and you see so many guys out there now with with their versions of sustainable surfboards, and that's great. It's great for the industry. As far as anything new on the horizon, we're definitely working on some new techs, some new we're always looking at resins and things like that. So it's a big part of who we are, and every day we're driving to see how we can do it better. Whether it's the things we do at work, whether it's making pavers out of old blanks. We've done some crazy things like that, and so we're just constantly at it. And that's really the way you have to approach it, right? Is incremental steps, and so you don't, if you go too far too quick, then all of a sudden the board's not working and it's not what you need it to be. So you got to be very careful about the steps you do take, but always inching forward with that sustainable mantra for sure.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's like I think sometimes when there's challenges that are placed in front of us, you kind of look at things like what do you have to kind of sacrifice or cut back or chop. So it's great to hear that sustainability is still up there. I know it's been one of your core values from the get-go, so it's great to hear that nothing is being compromised there. You touched on something just a moment ago about some new product. What are you guys working on? Anything new coming down the pipeline that consumers and retailers should be thinking of?
We have a lot coming in 2021 that I'm not going to talk about. Just trying to keep that under wraps for a little while longer. But we do have a Dominator 2 coming, which the Dominator, just a little history lesson, it was our best selling board we ever had. We launched it, I think, in 2010. And it just was the number one board for years. And there's so many people that still ride it. So we've been holding off doing a Dominator 2 for a while. But now it's coming out next month. So I have one here. Let's see if I can get
Yeah,
it in
let's
the
see it.
picture here.
There it
How do I do
is.
this, Pipe? How do I do this, Pipe?
There it is. You're doing it.
I'm not doing it. Anyways, it's right here. But anyways, that'll hit the market. A lot of people are excited about that. There's a lot of guys that ride Dominators, and this is just a little more performance aspect version of it. And we've done it in the helium tech, which is our strongest tech, and we put new aesthetics on it. It looks really good. So look for that hitting the stores in the next 2 weeks. Kelly has a new pad. It's called the Action Pad, named after his dog there. So that's going as we speak as well. So we've got a few new things coming, even though we've had this big hiccup with COVID. So yeah, we're trying to still try and get people marching in the stores and keep things exciting and new on the storefront. So yeah, sorry I couldn't get in the picture there. I can't seem to make this thing work.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We caught a glimpse of it. So thanks for showing it to us. And look, I wish we could still do Camp Shred because I'd love to take that thing for a little spin. But maybe another point. And to what you were saying a moment ago, you got some other stuff coming down the pipeline. So we'll make sure that we catch up again when all that stuff starts to hit and when you're ready to talk about it. Look, before
Yep.
I let you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the state of the industry and any advice for brands and retailers, other board builders, or anything. It's like, what's your advice to the industry as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, well, I said it earlier. It's just keeping things real with hard goods. Making sure that we take care of these core surf shops that have basically been holding the surf industry up, even though there's been a lot more dollars maybe in the department stores and things like this. But the more we can focus on our retailers and keep them relevant and keep customers coming through the door and keep it passionate. That's I think there's a loss of passion. You remember back in the days when Volcom, everything was about Volcom or Billabong, and I think there's the youth has lost that passion a
Mm.
little bit. I think the way you get it back is with surfboards. I don't think you get it back by showing them a new gene or this or that. I think it's going to start with surfboards, and then they'll get back into those lines. I think we have a good jump start on it with COVID and everybody, all these new people in the water. Um, yeah, I mean, I've always preached that. I believe that. I'm a shop owner. I had, a small core shop when I was in my 20s. I truly believe that. And the more we can, the more programs, like we have, which are sharing the wealth, I think will really, I think we can really help these shops do some business if you think of it that way. And don't treat them like a competitor. I see that a lot. If you treat your shops like a competitor, expect them not to be your shops in 5 years. It's just the way it is. So, yeah, more just put your hand out and help these shops instead of putting your hand up and treating them like a competitor.
Yeah,
If that
Mike,
makes
those are
sense.
great words. And look, I think that touches on your history of being a shop owner. You understand what it's like to be a retailer. Look, it's getting down to basics, and surfboards are as basic as you can get. And I know for myself, it's been the same thing. I've been enjoying spending a little bit more time in the water. I got a 9-year-old boy, and I've had a blast introducing him to surfing and passing along the Stoke, and I've seen how he's taken to it. So I think getting back to basics and business with retailers with hard goods is a great way to go. Well, thanks so much for sharing all this insight. I definitely want to circle back with you later in the year, and even when you start to introduce some new stuff. And obviously, anytime you got something new to share, please reach out. I'd love to share it with our readers on Propaganda HQ, and
Yeah,
keep me posted.
that's no problem. So yeah, let's do something. Maybe January would be great. I can talk about a lot more stuff in January for sure. We got some exciting stuff coming from Kelly and Rob. So yeah, that'd be great.
Sounds good to me. All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Take it easy, bud.
See ya.